Hello and welcome to the training for the SAT school day. This is for the standard testing. So if you are assigned to a standard testing room or perhaps in the hallway, this is the training you should be doing. You should have a manual that looks just like this. It says SAT school day, standard testing manual, and you'll actually even see the A up in the corner for the script A. If you don't have that in front of you right now, please push pause so that you can get the manual, because you definitely want to follow along and be able to mark up the manual with any additional notes that you want to make besides those that I have made. All right, so we're going to continue with that then. So the testing itself is, as you are aware, standardized testing. So it's very important that you know what you're supposed to do and what standardized testing it is. And then as a proctor, it's important that you understand you are responsible for everything that happens in that room. You're accountable for everyone. You're accountable for everything, all the materials. That is the responsibility you are taking on. There are three components to the test: evidence-based reading and writing, the math, and the SAT essay, uh, which you will have a separate test book to use for that. On the day of the test, you're going to pick up the materials in the cafeteria. We should have them ready by 6:45. Please be sure to get there before 7:10 to give yourself plenty of time to get to your room and get everything ready. We would like to have the students admitted and get going with things right at 7:20. All right. During the test, as I said, you're going to want to get there. You're going to want to prepare your room. Definitely assign seats at random or prearrange them with the cards that we will provide you. Do not allow students to choose their own seats. You're going to post this information on the board: the date, the school name, city, and state, our 6-digit AI code, which is 143,796 listed here, and the 3-digit testing room code that will be listed on your roster. This is all important information. Make sure you study the scripts. I'm just giving you the highlights here, so it's important that you go through this on your own as well. You will need to count your test materials 3 different times: when you receive them, when you distribute them to students, and when testing is complete. So it's listed here. It is important that you do count them all 3 times so that you are aware of all of the materials and we haven't missed any. Missing any test materials, let me know right away so that we can take care of that. Please be aware, don't distribute any test materials until you are instructed to do so. And then once we're admitting students to the room, again, you're not going to let them choose seats. You're going to assign seats by random. They're going to power off their phones. If a student is not on your roster, don't let them in, even if they say they're supposed to be in that room. If they're not on the roster, send them to a hall supervisor. We'll figure out where they are supposed to be. Please be sure to mark both of your rosters: P for present, A for absent for every student. You will have 2 rosters. It is important that you mark up both of them. Put one out for attendance and leave the other one with the box. If a student arrives late, you can let them in until the point where you have started the timed testing. We'll try and stop them after 7:45. All the students should be there by then, but after about 7:45, we'll stop them in the main office and not let them up. Uh, Collecting and storing devices. We are going to collect devices. Students are allowed to have snacks. If they have anything, they need to put them under their desk. They need to make sure they power off all of their equipment, any cell phones or anything that they have. During the test, you're going to monitor uh, the time. You're going to accurately time each section. As it says here, they must be given the entire amount of time. If it's a 60-minute test, you have to let all 60 minutes expire, even if they are all done after 40 minutes. We still have to allow that time to expire. Record start and stop times, announce times, make sure you walk around the room. That's also going to be important while you're monitoring your breaks. Post those break times, continue to walk around the room. Don't let them access any electronics. We are going to allow them to have snacks or drinks, but they're going to have to go out in the pod 6 feet away from other students. They're not going to be able to eat in their room. All right, complete the count of test materials. You have to complete the testing materials report. That will be in your box. And then you're going to make sure you note these important pieces as well in terms of information that you had to record on that form. When it comes time to maintain test security, you're all aware of this. Follow the scripts, remain vigilant, make sure somebody's with the materials at all time. That's pretty standard as far as test security. Monitor students, irregularity reports. If you do have any type of an issue, please make sure you contact me right away. If I'm not available, get a hall supervisor. They'll find me or Sarah or someone who will help you with that. Prohibited devices, make sure you read through this. One thing I do want to make sure I point out is if you do see a student with a prohibited device at any point while they're in the room, make sure you contact me or Sarah right away. And the test coordinator, we're the ones that will make that decision on whether or not the student needs to be dismissed, what the situation is. Do not scroll through student devices. Don't put yourself in that spot where you're looking at content. We'll work with the deans if anything like that needs to be done. And we'll make sure that we're the ones making that dismissal issue. I don't want to put that burden on you. Prohibited devices, a couple things you need to be aware of. One, Bluetooth devices, wireless earbuds. This is something students have done in the past. They'll try and keep their phone running with the music, even if they turn it in, and keep the earbuds in. So make sure you watch for that. Also, digital and smartwatches, such as this. We need to make sure that that is not something that they're wearing and that they put those away. We're going to follow option number 2 here as far as collecting devices. We are going to collect them. If they have their bags, just have them turn them off, put them in their bags, and collect their bags up in front or the side of the room. If they don't have a bag, this bullet here tells you we're going to label the item. We'll give you some plastic baggies, and you can put it in that, and again, store that securely in the front or the side of the room where they cannot access them until after testing is over. Medical devices, if students have approval for an EpiPen, it'll be in a clear plastic bag stored under the desk. That'll be noted on your roster if we have students in that situation. Calculator policies, the students need to supply their own calculators. We do not have calculators for all of our students. If they don't have a calculator, let them know all questions can be answered without a calculator. But this sends some important things here on calculators. Make sure you read through those. There are 3 scheduled breaks during standard time, a 10, a 5, and a 2-minute break. Make sure you take those at the appropriate times. If students need to take unscheduled breaks during the test, they don't get any extra time, only one student at a time out. Make sure you collect the materials before they leave, and make sure that a hall monitor or someone out there is kind of watching and monitoring, making sure what's happening. On the day of the test, this is where you're going to start. You're going to read the script as it is. You're going to read what's in the shaded box. There is information between boxes, such as here, that is information for you. That's important that you see. You can see I've crossed off some information that you won't read, like here where there's a choice between A and B. We are collecting personal belongings, so you'll read A and not B. Again, I've kind of pointed out, it's highlighted some things here that we need to be sure that we're checking that, make sure the students don't have. Distributing answer sheets, they will have a pre-labeled answer sheet for the majority of students in your room. We do have a few students that have started at North since the state produced the labels for us, so they may have to complete all of the fields. We did not do a pre-administration session, so you'll have to answer some fields here at the beginning and fill some things in. You will note they've crossed off a couple spots for students who don't regularly attend. All of our students regularly attend. You may have some Compass students in there. They're going to say, I don't regularly attend this school. They're still a North student, so they should answer yes because we are their home school. Here's where you're going to continue to finish the non-test portion, and then this is where you're going to distribute the books. They are serial number books, so you're going to make sure you distribute them in serial number order. You're going to give them 1 book to each student. Do not give them a stack and have them pass them down the row. That's where we run into issues, is you're going to have to fill out a chart at the end, a seating chart showing where the serial numbers were. All right, it's important here when we get to form code, test ID, and test serial book number that they get this right. If they don't get it right, their sheet can't be scored properly. You need to check, make sure that that's happening on that part of the exam. After this, then we're going to get into the actual exam itself. This is the point where you cannot have any more students enter your room once you get to this section here. You are going to record start and stop time in your manual, and then you're going to turn this manual in at the end of testing because we're going to need to keep these in case there's any problems. As you can see, there's multiple spots where you will record, and as you go through the different sections of the exam. Again, record. Section 4 is the math calculator. Record that. At this point, then you'll collect the test books from the students, again, in the order that they're distributed. Don't distribute the essay books until you know that you have all of the test books. From here, we continue on to the essay section. Students do get 50 minutes. This is a separate section. No scratch paper. They just write in the book if they need to. It is important here that they write the essay code and get that recorded properly in their materials. When you finish the exam, you're going to collect materials as it says. You're going to go to the after the test here. It does say if you need to cancel test scores. If a student requests to cancel a test score, I have forms that they need to fill out. So again, just have a hall supervisor come and find me. We'll get a form up to you. This is very rare. In the years I've been doing this, I've had less than 5 students request this. Again, like I said, we did not do a pre-administration, so all students need to continue to answer these questions after the test. There's not too many because we do, as you can see, we're not answering all of them. Our students do not have parental consent, so they must not complete fields 16 through 39. You have to have parental consent in order to do that. So you are going to stop after they do field 15. They do not go on to 16. At that point, then you'll collect the answer sheets. Again, make sure as you're collecting those, make sure they've done fields 1 through 9. Those are important that they have those done. Make sure they've completed, as we talked about before, the form code and the other information in fields A through C. Keep them in their seats until it's time to dismiss them. Again, we've got A because we are collecting their belongings. After you dismiss the students, then you're going to continue on to the next page, and you're going to complete these items in terms of what needs to get turned in. You're going to complete and sign the testing room materials report form and the seating chart. It is important that you do that. We every year have some staff that forget to do that, so please make sure you do that. And then you'll return your materials to the cafeteria right where you pick them up. Also in the book, then, I have included a timing chart to help you with that, a list of acceptable calculators if there's any questions, and an irregularity chart that will help you with the information if there is any type of a question on a problem. You can kind of review this and go through these different pages on different irregularities that may occur so that you can familiarize yourself with what might happen and what you should do. But again, if you got any questions, find me, find Sarah. We'll help you with that. As I mentioned, you'll have a seating chart you'll need to fill out. As you can see, you'll put the serial numbers in the boxes where the students are. Make sure you completely fill that out as well. And then you also have, as I mentioned, a testing room materials report form. This will be mostly filled out for you when you pick that up. We'll fill out what materials we're giving to you. You're going to complete what materials you return and what's unused. So that those will be the 2 reports that you will have to sign and fill out. The information that I just gave you is for the test itself. There is more information in the emails that you have received on the staff website. Please make sure you review that as well in terms of the procedures for the day. As far as dismissal at the end of the day, we're still working with transportation as of the recording of this, so that has not been determined yet. We'll get that information out to you as soon as we know. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you go now to the survey and complete the survey that says that you are fully trained and that you agree to the College Board test supervisor agreement form for their procedures. Thanks.